welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to review the reunion of the Love is Blind Ohio. I almost didn't want to make a video when it came to the reunion because I was watching it. I was at the gym watching it and reviewing it, and I didn't bring the drama the way that I thought they were going to bring the drama. What I mean by that, there is some area that they didn't really go deep to review or to expose people, and I think part of the reason is because the filming is done so far. Like for us, we're reviewing it right now, but for them it's been like a year or so, and a lot of people are over certain things. It's not done right away, and if it was fresh in their mind, then I feel like the drama would have been a little bit more intense. But really, I kind of found it a little bit corny, and yeah, I know, coming from me, sometimes I have my little corny moments, but I kind of find it kind of boring in a way. Nobody wanted to go really in their experience and really expose anything deeper. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to review and talk to you guys about a certain aspect that I found that was interesting. But I don't think this video is going to be very long. So let's enjoy this together. Okay, so first of all, everybody looked great. Everybody looked great. Everybody looked good. There wasn't anybody that looked bad. Chris looked completely different than what he used to look like. Jessica, thank you. I don't know, I would like to believe that she listened to my advice, but she did add a little bit of brownness to her hair, goldenness to her hair at the end, and she looks amazing. I just need her to like drag it all the way to the roots. That'd be great. And I need her to lighten her brows, and she would look wonderful. But however she did her makeup, I'm sure she's the one that did her makeup. It's really light. She got rid of the intense bronzer. She added a little bit of like redness or pinkness to her cheek, and her lips were very, very nicely done. So kudos to Jessica for that. Everybody else, oh, I think Ashley got a boob job. I don't know if it was a dress that was pushing everything up, but I feel like she did get a boob job. It looks great on her anyways if she did. Other than that, everybody looked the same. Nobody really changed, okay? The show started with Jordan and Amber. Remember in my last video when I said that Amber, when she drinks, it seemed to me like she was a different person. I don't know why I said it like that. It seemed to me that she was a different person when she was drinking, and there was a little bit of toxicity that I was seeing from her. And yet again, I am right. When Jordan and her broke down while they're no longer together, spoiler alert, I knew they were not going to last because there was so many things that were not being said. Amber needs a little bit of help when it comes to her attitude, right? The fact that Jordan said it very well, that she is trying to use or weaponize the relationship that Jordan has with her daughter to make him feel guilty for leaving her. That is 100% correct. Second, she is super rude. I can only imagine how she is behind the scene with him in private, not behind the scene, but I can only imagine how she is in private with him. So I'm not surprised that they're no longer together. Let's listen to what he said, and I 100% agree with him. Like, I saw it even without experiencing her for a long period of time. I literally saw her toxicity. she has a little bit of viciousness that comes out of her. And it's very subtle. You have to be self-aware to see it. And I was able to see it, so.
I feel that Jordan should have moved to you, since you also spoke about your situation and having a daughter in school and everything. Did you feel that he should have made that effort?
I don't think he was ready, to be honest. I'm gonna be honest right now, like, it's really difficult to trust somebody when they are only coming up on the weekends, or I'm going down there and they want to be at home in Columbus like 5-6 nights a week instead of like moving in. You wonder, like, why wouldn't you want to be at home with your wife? You know, and just why do you want to be out on like a, you know, Tuesday, Thursday with boys and then going out like there and not, I don't know, there was just, when I pictured marriage, I kind of pictured like somebody to come home with after work, like cooking, like having a good time. And if I'm with somebody I love, I don't really care where I live. I'm not focusing that on like where my friends are, where the bars are. Why wouldn't he want to be cuddled up with his wife at the end of the night?
Yeah, when I did drive out to Mount Vernon during the week, I would drive out there after work, make dinner for you, wake up at 5 in the morning and drive back for you to say, well, those visits don't even count. Like, why am I going to keep putting effort in when you don't appreciate it at all?
Do you think, Amber, that it was just the geography of you guys, which is a big part?
It's 45 minutes away. I mean, I have almost a longer commute to work every day.
Yeah.
It's not
Okay,
a big
so
deal.
But you only came twice for that 45-minute drive, so to
We
put
went
it that
to
way.
5 weddings of yours in a row. So some of those
Yeah, you
weekends,
do that when you're married to somebody. You go to weddings together.
and you live with them.
I mean,
I mean,
look,
you could not expect me, and this was your expectation, and this is what was like so upsetting to me at the end of the day. I felt like you wanted to stay in Columbus in your condo, do whatever you wanted, but have a wife that shows up on a Saturday, primed and ready to go, who just worked all week, who just took care of her kid, who just did all these things. I need to show up and be on point like that, and be funny and caring for you and all these other things. What?
I mean, that's so far off. And you know how many incidents there were, and I was gonna. I mean, the 1 month after we got married, I invited you to a wedding. You showed up and missed the whole ceremony. Got blacked out in the first 30 minutes. Fell asleep at the table and then cussed me out in the lobby. And I was the best man at the wedding. Like, that's fucking humiliating.
And
So
what?
to act like this is all on me, that I want to go out and party with the boys.
It's also disrespectful that you took me out to a party and you left me in there and went and partied with your boys for another couple
I was
hours.
the best man at a wedding. I put you out there to rest because you were going to drive home, so I took your keys, but you were wasted.
wasn't-
So I did, yes, that's what you were going to do. And then you Ubered all the way back to Mount Vernon.
Yeah, because hours later in a car.
Those things pushed me away. And then on top of these arguments, like, you know, consistently crossing boundaries with the screaming at me, you know, there's this disrespect with you not showing up to shit. And then on top of that, it just created an environment where I was totally uncomfortable even sharing how I felt with you. So I was looking out for myself in terms of my mental health and my well-being. Like, it was not a healthy relationship. To push it past that time would have been irresponsible for all of us.
Effort
But
into
you
it.
didn't try to do anything to fix that. It was just the same
You
argument
didn't
over and
give me
over.
enough time.
But you made no steps in that period of time. So it's like, we're just gonna keep doing the same thing over and over. Like, it's just clear to me that it was an unhealthy relationship. It was not healthy.
Jordan, you mentioned Emma,
Mhm.
Amber's daughter, and that clearly she wasn't the issue, and you opened up to her and you warmed up to her. What would you tell Amber now? What would you say to Emma?
I mean, to Emma, I am so sorry. Like, I know we formed such an amazing bond. You know, I enjoyed all of our time together, you know, watching movies together, playing our games, you know, coloring, making Legos. Like, that stuff was all amazing. I'm sorry that it ended that way.
I don't think though. So I guess here's my thing. I don't think like you realized the commitment you made when you made it, and that's where I don't think you said you were ready. Like, so for me, I think the hardest part was I was very hurt. You know, when you left that day, I was bawling my eyes out crying. But then I had to explain this to Emma, who's bawling her eyes out crying, and I can't cry because she's like, I have to be strong for her. And then so like nights later, she's asking me if we could make a memory box for you so that you'd come back. And like, I'm like having to be the one that's holding back tears and just being strong for my daughter. And it's like, don't fucking come in somebody's life if you're gonna do that. I told you.
Like, seriously, that outburst and the way that she treated him and the way that the audience, I feel like the audience, they were really unfair to the men, especially Jordan, because Jordan is telling you that they had multiple episodes and he just named one episode where he got invited to a wedding. She was blacked out drunk, passing out, cursing me out in public. Ouch. It was an unhealthy relationship. And I could see the writing on the wall in my previous video I made. There was only 2 snippets of her acting like she acted, but in those moments I was like, there's something really unbalanced within Amber. And how dare you, Amber, say to him, like, try to manipulate him with tears. Okay, I know he's broken up with you, but you're upset, but it's also manipulations because, you're crying. It is a form of manipulation. Second, you're telling him like, please stay, I'll go to therapy, blah, blah, blah. And you expected him to deal with your shit when you were alone for a long period of time. You said it when you first started that you were alone for a long period of time. You had the chance to work on yourself. If you want to go to a show to find love, I would love and hope that you took the time to work on yourself before you do that. A lot of the cast member for this one did not take the time to work on themselves, and they wanted somebody to love them through their own shit, their own thing. And it's not fair. It is not fair to say that I should stay and deal with your unbalancedness, you cursing me out, you doing all of this. I should bear it with you. That's not fair. Especially after an age of 30. In my 20s, maybe I'll do that with you because, we're young, we're trying to figure it out. 30, you have your life together, get your mind together. Right? I could talk about her, but seriously, I'm so glad that Jordan had the strength of mind to leave her, and he's gonna find love. I like him. And the fact that the audience or the cast member were like, Amber, you're so amazing, you're a mama bear, blah, 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 and they were crying when she was talking about Emma. I couldn't deal with it. I really couldn't deal with it. It kind of upset me that they didn't do the same thing with Jordan, saying like, Jordan, you're an amazing person. It just didn't work out, blah, blah, blah. Lifting her up is literally putting her in her own delusion that there's nothing wrong with her, really. And I don't think she's going to do the work. I'm calling it right now. I don't think she's going to do the work. Next, they went straight from Amber Jordan to Chris and Jessica. Chris came in, he was feeling kind of sad. He didn't crack a smile once. I don't think Chris understood that he took the villain role. There was a few villains. It was Chris, there was Alex, and Devante. Those were the 3 villains of the the show. Okay, villain number 1, Chris. I would have loved that if Chris was a little bit more honest. And why people went after Chris, it's not really, I don't think it's what he said. It is what he said, but I think he didn't express himself correctly. What he should have said is, the age gap is too big for me and you, Jess. And me hanging out with my friends, I've realized that we are not in the same chapter. We're not focused on the same thing. I still want to have my fun. You are more established and you want to stay home. I don't see us moving together and growing together 10 years, 5 years from now. I don't see it. I think I should be honest with myself and say that I don't want this anymore. that would have been 100 times better if he said that versus your body. I think people got focused on the your body thing, and that was his level of immaturity that actually was shown on TV. And I don't think I think it's a mixture of two things. I believe that he wanted to be the breakout star and he wanted to have that TV personality that backfired. Second, from the get-go, from the moment I saw them together, I knew that there's no way that they were going to work. Like I said, at the time, Chris had looked younger, looked to be younger. And Jessica really looked her age, maybe even a bit older than her age, to be honest with you. 38, like she looked 38. And when you put them side by side, you knew right away that there's no way that those two were going to gel. It was just the pod. The pod creates an atmosphere of like mystique, and it puts you in the moment that you think that you're really connected with somebody, but you're not really. And that's the thing that backfires. And you really put in your mind that this is it for me. I'm going to find my person and we're going to have this amazing fairy tale. For people that are emotionally unbalanced, like Amber, this creates a really, really bad environment for you to get attached or codependency and unrequired love. All of that can happen because of the pods. So let's listen to what, and I feel like, and at the reunion, they went really hard on Chris. And Chris still didn't express himself correctly. If he said what I said, everybody would have been like, oh, I understand what you mean. And explain to himself, saying like it came out incorrectly, but this is what I really wanted to say. That would have been much more received, much better, much better received. It would have been better received. Okay, yeah. It would have been better received. So let's see.
On this stage. And watching it back for Vanessa and I was absolutely brutal. We had to walk away from the television a few times. So I have to ask you, as a man watching that back, what was going through your mind?
You know, watching it back was tough. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not proud of a lot of those moments.
That's it? I mean, Connor just illustrated for us how close the two of you were during filming. Working out together in the mornings, riding together. When you guys split up, you and Jess, he was the one standing there kind of talking to you through it all. And then to turn around and do that to him when he was mere feet away from you. And then after the fact, go over to him and bro it up like nothing ever happened. I'm just not sure what it says about you. That's probably for you and a therapist to figure out, but I promise you it's not good.
Right.
It's not good. So is there anything you could say to Connor directly in this moment? Man to man? Ohio boy to Ohio boy?
Yeah.
So do it. This is your time, man.
Yeah, Connor. I mean, I'm sorry I disrespected you. I want to be accountable for what I did and what I said. And putting Bree in that situation as well. I want to give, you asked her a question about, do you feel like you gave Chris a little bit of time? I feel like I put her in that situation and was just way too maybe aggressive in that moment. And I'm sorry. And I'm not asking for forgiveness. I just want you guys to know, like, I'm truly sorry. The way I acted during this experiment.
When he had a different audience, that was never shown to me. I was never spoken to like that. I think because that person knew that I wouldn't really tolerate it or buy into it, and the reality was very, very different than what was being shown.
Do you think specifically, in alluding to finances, that that's a massive insecurity you think he had?
At that time, yes. I don't know anything about him now. I don't need to.
Well, Chris, let's talk about that for a second, because it seemed that you essentially disappeared after seeing her home and seeing how successful she was in her life and her career. Did that make you insecure, seeing her success and seeing where she'd established herself in her life?
That had nothing to do with the decision I made.
Nothing at all. It didn't affect you? Because you kind of disappeared for 2 days after that happened. I mean, were you in Devontae's nothing box, or like, where did you run for 2 days?
Catching strays.
Hey, Devontae, by the way.
Devontae's like, don't bring me into that right now.
I wasn't even driving the car.
So you think that's just the perception of everyone watching this show? That wasn't the truth in the moment?
It was not the truth.
So what was the truth? In that moment, was it what you said?
The truth was I was emotionally immature, and I put physical chemistry over emotional connection.
And you seem a little emotional now. What's coming up for you?
Because I feel like the way I went about it, I should have done it way differently.
Are you making steps toward how you speak to people, or how you want to become more emotionally mature, or how you handle these situations? Or did you just watch it and you're like really wanting to save face?
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I'm taking steps to, be more emotionally mature. And I don't think it was obviously fully aware I was ready for that coming into this.
Seriously, I said it, I called it out in my first video I made about this. He wasn't emotionally mature, and I'm sure, and I said he is not able to give Jessica what Jessica needs. And to be honest with you, I think it was on both of them. They didn't ask the right question. Nobody ever asked the right questions. I mean, they're just so enamored with the idea of falling in love that they never really asked the right question to see if the partnership is gonna work. Like, one couple that actually did the work correctly is Vic and Christine. Vic and Christine did it correctly, asked the right question, went to the core of who they were as a two being, and they were able to connect and see and say, you're my person, and they truly are each other's person. The rest, it was just a fantasy that they created in their head. Jessica found love with a cast member. Let's see here, and it is here. Hermal, whatever his name is. So sorry. Jessica and Hermal found each other. I'm gonna play this video about him explaining how they connected. And
out. Timeline's always kind of interesting because a lot happens in a very, very short period of time, and sometimes it looks like something's really, really long. So when I ended up leaving the pods, it was maybe like a week after that everything had happened, that I don't think anybody was aware of how that all went down. And so I started reaching out, like, honestly, almost immediately. My plan was, as soon as I got out of the pods, was to reach out to her, and then I found out that she was engaged, and I just waited maybe like a week, and then all of a sudden all of it went, I heard from the grapevine that it didn't go the way she wanted it to, and so that's kind of when it all started, as far as us communicating and talking and things like that. So I think it's been a year since that whole thing happened, and so we've been kind of talking and working through things and figuring it out for the last year. So it's been that long.
after watching this, you can tell that they are a better match. She's glowing differently around him. She is really in her femininity around him. He's a doctor, she's a doctor. They get to really understand each other on another level. He's 36 and she's 38. Perfect. They're almost at the same stage emotionally, I can see that that was a perfect match. And he explained that at the time he really wanted Jessica, but he wasn't ready to take that step forward with her and didn't make a connection with her. But he really wanted, he regretted it, and the moment that he got a chance to make a connection with her, he took it, and he played it really safely. It seems like they became friends first, and then he made a move on her, and she was really receptive, versus the other way around, him making a move on her first. I don't think it would have worked. He followed his instinct and it worked out for them. Perfect. Connor and did I forget her name? Oh, Bree. Oh my God, Bree. Connor and Bree are together. I wanted them to be together, but Bree is a handful. She is not fully truthful sometimes, especially with the Devante situation. Connor didn't know anything about that they had dinner and they went to a concert together. So Connor has his hand completely full with Bree, because I think she's gonna be the type that is gonna omit some information, and he's gonna find out, and he's gonna be like, how come you didn't tell me? We have an open, easy relationship. You can just talk to me. So that's gonna be great to, well, we're not gonna see it, but I have a sense that they're going to make it. Matt and Emma obviously didn't make it. They reconfirmed that he wants a family, she doesn't, and she said, and I'm glad she's in therapy, so I'm glad she's in therapy, because she does have a lot of unresolved issues, a trauma that she needs to address, and the show is not the place to address it. Therapy is. And she said, they asked her, why did you say yes? She was actually trying to trap him, I swear, because he explained that 3 days prior to the marriage, they had a conversation and they both agreed that they were going to say no to each other. And then emotionally, she said yes at the altar, and he's like, what the heck is happening? I'm going to stand by it because you still don't want to have kids. I asked you at the altar if you wanted to have kids. You literally dodged the question. And then at the reunion, you're saying to me that you saying yes was the confirmation that you were open to the idea fully. This is why I need to be the host. I don't know what we have to do, but next season, I literally need to host this. Somebody else needs to host this, because I would have asked her blank exactly what I said. It makes no sense. It makes no sense what she said. Whatever. Matt found somebody else. She looks cute. They look good together. And she seems to be open to having kids. They've been together for 7 years. 7 years. Whoa. 7 months. And that's great. Vic and Christine, or Vic and Christine. Is that a thing? They're doing them. They're perfect for each other. Let's move on. There's nothing else to say about those two. Who else? Oh, Alex. Alex and my succubus Ashley. That's the only way I remember her name. My favorite succubus Ashley. To be honest with you, the aggression that Alex has throughout, the way that he's so defensive, the way that you ask him a question and it's just like, say the wrong word and I will mess you up kind of vibe. I don't like that. I don't think I posted the video, but in my book, and I don't like to label people, but in my book, Alex is a complete sociopath. He pretty much checks almost everything. Manipulative, lies easily, and aggression. I mean, might as well be at this point. It'll make sense. but the fact that they didn't go really in on him, and they gave him the grace that they didn't give Chris is crazy to me, because the little jab that Alex took on Ashley is ridiculous. Like, trying to shame her for sexuality. They addressed the pregnancy thing that they had, where she's like, I can't get pregnant while I'm on my period. Girls, you can. Yeah, you can. It's low, but you still can't get pregnant. I don't know where that myth is coming from. And the little bodies, the sperms, I think I can say the sperms live in your body up to 5 days. So it is possible for you to get pregnant. There's not a no. It's safe. My goodness. Anyways, let's listen to the aggression that Alex actually was showing, and it's just something that I could not deal with.
Right? Have you been able to move on? Are you seeing anybody at this point?
Yeah, so I am seeing somebody. Yep.
Feeling confident and being confident. But it did seem along the way like your story kept changing a little bit. I think that maybe made Ashley less confident. Can you point to the changes? Well, I just think it was a lot of gaps, especially as related to Austin and timelines with Austin. I don't see there were gaps. I don't know. Go ahead, though. Why do you think that Ashley...
Like, this is not necessary, and this is where I feel like the show lost the plot for me a little bit, because if I'm going to come at you and question you about your lies, I am going to come with like a complete display of where you were lying, or where the story wasn't, the math wasn't mathing in the storyline, right? Like, during the pandemic, you traveled a lot. Was it actually that easy to travel during the pandemic? No. Did you travel everywhere you claimed that you did? Possibly not. Were you not exactly during the pandemic, maybe after the pandemic, but not necessarily during the pandemic, because they made certain countries made travelers' life a living hell to do. So, hey, let's move on. B, the story that you told, like every single time you were telling your story, Ashley was right. It sounded very much reversed. Like you've said this a couple of times in front of a mirror, and you just like word vomiting, just saying it and just going through the motion of the story, and it didn't feel authentic. It didn't feel true. It felt like a bunch of lies put together to make your persona feel bigger. And I literally think that he is a con artist. To be honest with you, he's perfect. He likes to talk really fast, and to be a really good business person, that's great. That's a great trait. Charismatic when he wants to be, talks really fast. It's a perfect trait for a salesperson, or a business person, or a con artist. All of them, they're all doing the same thing. It's just legal and not legal. And he did mention that he is nomadic, so he moves around a lot. And somebody actually, while I was searching the internet, somebody's like, it feels like Alex needed some place to stay, and he's like, let me do Love is Blind so I can have a place to stay for the next 6 weeks, 3 weeks. Maybe he was not working. He's like, listen, I'm not working right now. My funds are not together. Let me find a place so I can stay for a little while until I figure it out. And I think it's right. I think the internet is 100% right when it comes to that. I don't think he was really into it like that. Shout out to the dads. Shout out to Ashley's dad. Ashley's dad he did exactly what he was supposed to do. I hated that Alex was trying to make her dad feels like he was acting like her dad did something wrong. He did what a dad is supposed to do. He's supposed to question you. He's supposed to go in to see if I want to give my hand, if I want to give you, my daughter to you. I need to know as a father that I'm giving my daughter to a man that is worth it. And I don't know what is, it's fun, it's not funny, but it's interesting that Alex, that doesn't have a father figure, could not understand that. And Devante, that doesn't have a father figure, could not understand that too. Listen, this is why it's important. Both dads did exactly what dads were supposed to do, is protect their daughter until they're sure that I can give you, you can take care of my daughter. I mean, I'm surprised because most dads were like, can you financially take care of my daughter? Can you financially take care of a kid? What do you bring to the table for my daughter? Like, those are typical normal questions that a good father is going to ask, because I took care of her. I nurture my daughter. I want somebody that can provide and take care for her. Take care of her. Yeah, take care of her. Listen, love the parents.
You felt
Felt that
yeah.
way. I mean,
Who's next? Like, they were soft on him. Devante, let's go to Devante. Devante finally got his wish come true. He probably found his woman, his white woman, and went for her. While I was doing some research, I found out that Devante was engaged 3 times, which was surprising to me. That he was able to. But he has a pattern of dating white women. Everybody knows it. Like, listen, he wasn't into her. Like, Devante was like a big poster, I'm not into you. The fact that Brittany went so hard on Devante, I was like, really, you wanted to be with him? I was listening to her. I'm like, are you sure? Like, he's lying to you. Like, let's listen to what happened. And for Brittany to think that Brie and Ashley and Brianna are her friends. Brianna said, no, I'm not her friend. Ashley does not like Brittany, even though she said that Brittany is a nice looking girl, but Ashley feels like Brittany is a competition, and you can tell the way that Ashley was like looking down at Brittany. I was like, girl, she's not your friend. Brie is close to Ashley, and Brie is not close to Brittany. You can tell. Like, they're cordial, they'll be like, hey girl, but they don't mean anything by it. I feel like Ashley and Brie and Brianna, if they're put together, they can become mean girls, right? Brie and Ashley comes from money, I can tell for sure. Brianna, I don't know if she comes from money, but she might. But those type of like girls, I can see them being mean girls. So if I was Brittany, I wouldn't even trust them.
2 days later, he was going on a work trip, is what he told me. He in fact did not go on a work trip. He went to Austin with a few of the girls from the cast, and then a few days after he got back from his work trip, he came over and he said he felt like he couldn't show up for me, and disappeared.
First of all, Austin, Alex. What's up with
I was
Austin?
not there.
So who was there?
You're lying. No,
Brittany
I'm
or Devante, either of you want to answer. Who was there on this trip?
Brie, Ashley, and then Priyanka.
Priyanka.
We went to see a
Brie.
Rufus concert.
Yeah.
Ashley, Priyanka.
Yep,
And you.
correct.
Connor, why were you not on this trip?
I thought it was a girls' trip.
So it was a planned girls' trip and then he was invited.
I don't exactly know where the logistics of it was, but like Bree's like, I'm going to hang out with Pre and Ash. I was like, go have fun,
Gotcha.
thing, whatever.
So then, Devante, how did you get on this girls' trip?
I was at dinner with Bree and they had mentioned they're going out to Austin for Rufus. I was like, oh, I love Rufus. They're like, just come. I was like, all right.
So
just
they
booked the
invited
ticket.
you, or you invited yourself?
No, I mean, here's the thing: is like you develop friendships on the show,
Yeah.
and so Devo is a good friend to us, and it wasn't anything. Like truly, this is just like us going, and Connor hates flying, so.
But
Connor
did you
didn't
not
wanna
know that I
go.
had my engagement ring
No,
on while you were
I
there?
did not. Brittany, when I tell you the story that Devo was telling us, he had made it clear that you guys had called it off.
But were you not told when I was with other girls at the same time that I had my engagement ring on still?
I did not know that. I was not at that brunch, so it was the same time as us in Austin. Like, I'm looking to you girls, like, I guess I'm doing all the talking, but this is not an issue for us.
Yeah, it was
Like-
a little wild because we asked him multiple times, multiple different ways, like, did you end it with Brittany? Like, does she know you're here? And he was like, yes. And then we were like, okay, then like that's
Were
fine.
you
But
friends with Brittany at the time?
Yeah, we're all very close.
Did you say, hey, I heard you guys had ended it?
I think Brittany either called me or I called Brittany and we had a conversation afterwards and I was like,
After I found out though.
but it was like if I would have known he was lying, like we didn't know he was telling her this stuff. It was kind of just like nobody really knows what's going on. So if I would have known that Brittany thought he was on a work trip and then
Yeah.
he's actually in Austin with us, I would have for sure been like, girl, what's going on? But we didn't.
Devontae, does this track for you? This is all accurate? You let her know that you were on a work trip when in fact you
Yeah,
were on
I'll circle back to it. So we did have a conversation prior to me going to Austin. I took some time away, the 2 weeks where we didn't talk, but that last conversation, like that we had, like we were texting, but I'm saying like in person, like those conversations prior, that was kind of me saying we were done indirectly, where I said I
No,
didn't be.
no, because days before, I said, if you don't want to be in this relationship, can you just let me know? And you called me and said, no, I want to be in this relationship.
Correct. I wanted to do it
A
in
week and
person.
a half
I wasn't.
after you left, you said that's when you came and ended our engagement after you had already taken the trip. We were not done.
Okay. Yeah.
Devante did what Devante did. I'm not surprised that he linked up with the white girls because while they were filming, I saw him try to give her like he greeted Ashley, and when he greeted Ashley, he had so much happiness beaming out of him for hugging Ashley. So I'm not surprised that he linked up with the girls. His preference, to be honest with you, what he desired. He is now a father. Well, he's expecting his first child. I'm surprised. I would have been messy. I would have asked him how far along is your girl? 6 months, 7 months, 8 months pregnant, so we can like calculate the time frame. But he's expecting, and I guarantee you 100% it's with a white girl. That's the only reason why he would go for that. And apparently he's engaged. I don't know how long that's gonna last, but that's what it is. All in all, I'm gonna leave it there. It was okay. It wasn't like amazing. It wasn't there. Like Brittany, I was hoping that you didn't go that hard on him, because after a while it just felt like that man literally, well, he showed throughout the entire process that he didn't care for you. And the fact that you're fighting so hard for a man that didn't care for you, you shouldn't. You should have like stayed in your like dignity. You should have a little bit more some dignity, and saying, I don't care about you right now. I am just calling out your lies and the inconsistencies that you showed me, so like that other people knows about it and it's not left in the dark. That's it. So congratulations to the married couple, which is Vic and Christine. Yay! Good for you guys. I hope you guys have fun in your marriage. I cannot wait for you guys to have your first child and go on a really good adventure and really enjoy each other. Bravo. I wish all the best to Bree and Connor. Hopefully you guys are able to make it and make it last for a long period of time. And for the rest of you all need a therapy, all need to have some time alone, all need to heal. The rest of y'all, like, I don't know. Oh, Jess, I forgot about Jess. Jessica and her new boo. I'm not gonna say his name. I hope you guys have a really good romance love story, and I hope that you guys actually get married and live it to the fullest. Oh yeah, I forgot. And I am going to leave this video by showing you Devante's lie. Somebody put it together, so let's watch Devante. And until the next video, there is a new Netflix show about dating that came out, and I'm going to review it. So you guys don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and we're going to have a lot of fun reviewing whatever messiness is happening on the internet. So until the next video, bye guys.
It was cheating on his baby mama and new fiance that he just announced at last night's reunion. E-News is reporting that he's been with said fiance for 7 months. That his ex-girlfriend Taylor, who we interviewed on the Reality Receipts podcast, says that they broke up in December. Last time they were intimate was in November, and even has time-stamped photos of him in November. How you been with your new fiance and baby mama for 7 months? Let me show you how we caught his ass lying in 4K. In E-News article, the girl's his damn fiance and they met over 5 years ago. In this article, she's just his girlfriend and they met over a decade ago. Get your story straight, bruh. Is she your pregnant girlfriend or your pregnant fiance? Have y'all been together for 7 months or for 2 months? Because he told Entertainment Weekly that they've been together for only 2 months. A little over 2 months. How convenient. How convenient that you know we did an interview with Taylor. You know that she said that you guys broke up in December, that you guys were intimate in November. How convenient that your answer changed, because you know I'm on your ass. Anywho, let's go over the 2 articles where he lying. To E-News, it says Love is Blind's Devante reveals the truth about meeting pregnant fiance over 5 years ago. Love is Blind season 10 star Devante exclusively told E-News how he met his current fiance, who was pregnant with their first child long before he met ex Brittany Wicker in the pods. The article starts with this: after appearing on Love is Blind, Devante opened his eyes to a lady who'd been in his life all along. The reality star revealed during the season 10 reunion that he's now engaged and expecting a baby. So they did like a video interview and then like a written interview. In the video interview, he basically says he did go into Love is Blind ready to be married, and that 4 to 5 months after the show, he felt defeated. But you were on dating apps literally 2 weeks after filming. You literally had a girlfriend in July, which was 3 months after filming, and dated until December for 5 months. So what the hell do you mean you felt defeated for 4 to 5 months? You were in full-blown relationships, liar. The girl that I'm with now, I've actually known her since I was in college. He told E-News in an exclusive interview, we've never dated, never talked anything. Yeah, right. It was just kind of like an old flame that took off. Yeah, right. It was like a hell yeah moment where we were just like, man, wish we could rewind the clock and go back 5 to 6 years. Y'all met in college and you're 32. That was more than 5 to 6 years ago. The article literally continues and says once their romance took off last year, the loan officer felt like he was with his best friend, saying their relationship simply flowed. Goes on to say a bunch of crap. It's easy, and that's exactly what I wanted a marriage to feel like, he told E. Our lives are so similar but different at the same time. We can live your life, I can live my life, and we can live them together. That they're merging their lives even sooner than expected with a little one on the way. We're ready to get pregnant, but we didn't think it was going to happen fast. He added, next thing you know, we're like, here we go. He went on to say like that his grandparents are his idols. He's excited to do life with his child. Something about D1 kids. Blah, blah, blah. That's what he told E-News. Now, he told Entertainment Weekly something completely different. Entertainment Weekly, she just his girlfriend. I don't know what happened to fiance. And he came for Brittany's dad in this interview. So let's get into it. Said this, he's so excited, it's a blessing. He's looking at baby clothes, ideas on Pinterest, lies. Probably don't even have a Pinterest. Acknowledging that his partner wants to stay out of all this. I bet she do, now that she's probably just finding out that you had a girlfriend in December. He reveals that she's from Ohio. Interesting, because his ex-girlfriend Taylor, that he was running off to Ohio every chance he got. Reveals she's from Ohio and that the pair met in college about a decade ago. He also clarifies that he never actually lived in Arizona with Alex as suggested in the reunion. When we interviewed his ex-girlfriend Taylor, she said she went to him and Alex's apartment. Alex just did an interview with the Vile File saying that he did live with Devontae, that they had a shared residence. Like, liars lie. This is what he said about old girl, fiance slash baby mama slash girlfriend slash roommate. We have always known each other, but we've never dated or anything. She's always been a friend. He says, we reconnected and it was like, wow, we look at the timeline and how fast things progress, but I feel like I've known her my whole life. Whenever these things, big things that have happened in my life, she's been there as a supporting friend. Friend my ass. This just told me that y'all been banging for years. This is the first time the timing has aligned and we both been single. It was a timing thing where I was like, man, this is exactly where I was supposed to end up. And it's just felt electric ever since. He says, I always knew I wanted to be a father. I pray you don't have a daughter. Go on to talk about the dress thing. He did say that he wishes he would have been more direct with Brittany, but if you want to hear what he had to say about the dress, pause to read. Not much. He actually said that the "we will be in touch" thing wasn't a real statement. It was a joke because it was a staged conversation for Netflix. He said that him and Brittany actually had the chat before and then they had to redo it on camera. So it was just like banter. So he said, we actually had a conversation the day before off camera, so we had to come and redo it. Going into that whole conversation, we were like, okay, well, we don't really know how to end this because there's not really an ending scene. We joked around a lot with each other, so the "we'll be in touch" wasn't a real comment from me. As for Brittany's feelings on Devontae becoming a dad, he acknowledges there is likely some animosity on her side because of how their relationship ended, revealing the news at the reunion. I don't necessarily think I was coming out to get Brittany because I don't have ill will or feelings towards her. You could tell at the reunion that Brittany was surprised by the news. Like her face literally was like, and he threw shade at Brittany's dad. He be trying to keep it cute in interviews and then he takes subtle little digs. This is what he had to say about Brittany's dad. He said, it's definitely caught me off guard for sure. Devontae says, I was sitting on that stage confidently in myself being like, I can't run from any of these questions that are going to be asked. So just answer them truthfully and honestly. Now's your time to be direct. He has my phone number, or he could have easily pulled me aside. It was almost a performative thing where he was like, oh, now is my moment. He makes a TikTok about me almost daily now. And I'm like, you're in your 60s. So again, he's trying to throw shade, like, then said, whatever you need to do to heal, do it. So again, he's being a smart ass. He only did these like miniature press circuits. He hasn't done like a full sit down interview. And I don't know if he will because he will get caught up in his lies. The fact that these two interviews came out on the same day and you told these two big publications two very different things, you better hope that article of E! News was miswritten. You better get a retraction. You better get it redacted. Otherwise, the math ain't mathin'. And y'all been together for 7 months. And you were definitely cheating on her with your ex-girlfriend, Taylor, who stated publicly that y'all were last intimate in November. And she has pictures of you guys together in November. And then you guys officially broke up mid-December.